Drug dealing show.
Saint,
I'm
yeah, I
black.
can.
I had no idea he was a Christian.
God, that nigga me some spicy hummus. I ain't want no spicy hummus. Shit. Well, I won't prepare for no spicy hummus. God damn. Hold on, I'll just make sure the stream is up. Hold on. I'm gonna do a stream. I can cut it from stream and make a video out of it. Give me a minute. Gotta get this shit. How the fuck? Ain't no crazy shit happened this weekend, so that's good.
Sure about that?
Yeah, Bobby kind of in the house anyway, but still, ain't no wacky shit. Ain't no wacky shit happening.
Still early in the week, man. Weekend.
I went. What I do? I tried to take her to lunch, but the spot was closed, so I had to work. I worked most of the day yesterday.
On Valentine's Day?
Yeah, my job don't give a fuck. I, um, I did stop at the bar though. It's just so weird, man. It's like the live, like it'll come up eventually on YouTube, but it don't come up on YouTube. There you go. Just take a minute, I guess. Okay, cool. All right, let's get into this Guthrie shit. Let's get this shit out the way. 'Cause this is some wacky ass shit. All right.
Yeah, I have the been completely excluded because I'm still convinced that the family in on it.
Let's see. We go back. All these from yesterday, so we kind of go in order.
Couple of new things. There is a new video on Ring's Neighbors app, which is really interesting to authorities in this investigation. We spoke with a high-up official in this investigation who said they are, and this is a quote, absolutely looking at this video. It shows a man skulking around the front porch of a house. 8 days before the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping. It is 6.5 miles away from Nancy's home. Interestingly, this man, we blurred his face, but he has a goatee and a mustache. And if you look at the video on Nancy Guthrie's porch, the man seen there appears to have the same. So again, we don't know if the two are connected, but the authorities
Said it was 6 miles away?
What's that? 6 miles away? That's another city.
The fuck are you talking about?
Oh, I know what happened.
Absolutely.
I know what happened.
You don't want to see more, or you already got it?
No, the reason why I was 6 miles away because somebody reported that there was some weird guy walking around the area. And so they just sent in the video.
Okay,
Everybody trying to
okay, I feel you. I'm sure there's a lot of tips coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at this video. Couple of other things. One is, we have been told by multiple sources connected to this investigation that they have been frustrated to identify a vehicle tied to the person at Nancy Guthrie's front porch. They have looked everywhere, and it's one of the reasons they are putting out this APB, if you will, asking people in that area if they've seen anything over the month before Nancy was kidnapped. But the vehicle is going to be key. And the wider net they cast, the more likely it is that they're going to get a lead. So it's something that they really want. Now, finally, I want to talk about these ransom notes. We have received one. There are two of them. And it is now going on 2 weeks since Nancy's kidnapping. The note we received demands $6 million. And I can tell you, we check this Bitcoin account regularly, and the money is not there. $6 million, not there. And it's been 2 weeks. Savannah had said they were going to present the money through the Bitcoin account. It has not yet happened. I will tell you this. I know, and when I say I know, I am positive that authorities, including the FBI, are vitally interested in that ransom note. I know this to be true. And I can't say the specifics because I promised I wouldn't, but I can tell you they are absolutely still vitally interested in this ransom note. So it doesn't seem like they've been able to connect the dots.
Nancy Guthrie, is that the grandmother's name?
Yeah.
She 81 years old.
Okay.
You trying to tell me she don't take no medicine?
If what I'm saying. They said she had some medicine that she was supposed to take regularly. And shit, what the fuck?
I don't know. 2 weeks and she ain't taking none of that shit. 2 weeks and she's eating regular foods. What is she eating for 2 weeks? What are they feeding her? Because it got to be fast food. And that's going out getting like home cooked meals, are they?
I have no idea.
If she eat McDonald's every day, like sick as hell.
She no drawers, no socks. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, she bathing.
Right. That's what
Again, we have received 2 emails from somebody.
Yeah.
No cell phone, no access to nothing. She ain't talked to her family in 2 weeks. Come on, man. How they dead? No makeup. Ain't combed her hair.
The fuck? I can't tell which one is newer. This one got less views. It said they got a third note.
TMZ has obtained a third email from the man who claims he knows the identity and the location of Nancy Guthrie's kidnapper, and he has now upped his demand. We know it is the same person who wrote the other 2 notes because the Bitcoin address is identical. So he says that he is going through TMZ because he does not trust law enforcement. He is essentially saying, you don't trust me and I don't trust you. What he is suggesting is by the FBI upping the reward to $100,000, it was designed to discredit him. He says, quote, to discredit me. So what he is saying is he now wants the following. He wants 1 fraction of a Bitcoin worth $50,000. And for that, he says he will give up the name and location of the kidnapper. He says he will not cash that until the kidnapper is actually arrested, and then he expects the
What the fuck is he talking about now?
These people are wild as hell, man.
Hold on. Man,
A Bitcoin is kind of hard to trace through all them damn blockchains and things like that. But these are pure scammers.
yeah.
You can't be just a regular Bitcoin clown, man, and not know exactly what you're doing. Like, man, you know how to manipulate Bitcoin?
You said what?
Do you know how to manipulate Bitcoin?
No, like I had a wallet before. I've made the transactions in Bitcoin before.
Do you know how to manipulate it and do all kind of crazy shit with the Ethereum and blockchain, all kind of good shit?
Hell no. I don't know what that means to manipulate it.
So, man, you trying to tell me a street dude is a kidnapping dude is that fucking savvy? I mean,
But
that It takes a certain kind of guy to do that shit. All of a sudden now you go from a guy, man, that's fucking very computer savvy, very financial savvy, very crafty and scamming, to now he's a fucking armed kidnapper. That's two different jobs. That's two different things.
That's why I need a team.
Huh?
That's why I need a team.
Exactly. So now does it look like they had a team that walked in there and with a fucking ski mask on and kidnapped the lady at the doorstep? And would you kidnap her, or would you kidnap like a prince or something like that? Why would you kidnap a celebrity? Why not kidnap some unknown motherfucker nobody know?
Well,
You could kidnap a celebrity, man. Everybody like, hey man, you know you fucking got such and such. The whole world looking. But you kidnap some unknown random motherfucker, nobody know who the fuck they are. Nobody cares. If you kidnap like Lou Hampton's Roshan son, who is that? I don't know who the fuck he is.
it seemed like if you found some rich motherfucker who didn't nobody know, it'd be easier just to get paid and keep everything quiet.
That's what I'm saying. Why would you fucking kidnap somebody that's connected to a celebrity that has that much reach? The lady had an Instagram following. I mean, she's a celebrity. TMC is involved. You think TMC would be involved if it wasn't her?
Well, they sent it to TMZ.
That's what I'm saying. You think TMZ would be involved if that wasn't her?
No.
They wouldn't send it to TMZ. TMZ like, who the fuck is
Yeah,
Earl?
this motherfucker, yeah. This is the latest. From an hour ago.
Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today's Show host Savannah Guthrie, is still missing. Now, it's been 2 weeks since she disappeared, and overnight, forensics vehicles could be seen searching about 2 miles from Nancy Guthrie's Tucson home. This as authorities are still trying to recover more footage from the cameras throughout Guthrie's property. Jen Sullivan has the details.
The desperate search for Nancy Guthrie stretching toward a 3rd week. Authorities in Tucson, Arizona working around the clock to find the missing 84-year-old.
We're doing everything we can, humanly possible. We want to find Nancy.
The latest clue in...
Huh?
It doesn't seem like they're looking for a dog or a human. You does something with a sense of urgency? Man, if that was my mother, wouldn't you be on TV crying every damn day, saying, please bring her home? Offering all kinds of money, leads, and just constantly. Man, when Scott Peterson and wife came out missing, it was nonstop, right?
Who?
Scott Peterson.
I don't remember.
Lacey Peterson, the guy fucking killed her, man. And
I know what happened, but I wouldn't like. I don't remember how it was going on. You know, I'm not paying no attention.
She was pregnant, but it was all over fucking Florida news, nonstop.
I mean, I don't fucking know, man. Kidnapping is such a crazy thing.
84-year-old woman gets kidnapped. I'm like, come on, bro. 84 years old? and like, when did she turn 85? I thought she was 81. She's fucking 84 years old.
Yeah.
Like, man, if she bumps, she falls down. Trying to move her around is impossible.
True.
It'd be easier to move a fucking tractor than a fucking 84-year-old person. You literally got to carry them everywhere you go. And if they say they got a headache, man, you got to take it serious. If they say your stomach hurt, you got to take it serious. Dog, you don't want a kidnapping is still fucking life in prison, but murder, you fucking run the death penalty. And what the fuck they at?
Fucking Arizona?
I don't think they got the death penalty in Arizona now, but you fucking get murder, death, fucking want to get a kidnapping and murder charge. Just assaulting a senior citizen is like assaulting a fucking baby.
Yeah.
This nigga fucking have. Do these niggas think he gonna get away? Seriously.
I mean, when they say hold on, let's catch up.
DNA evidence found at Guthrie's property. Friday night, more than a dozen law enforcement vehicles, including SWAT and forensics, were seen at a residence 2 miles from her home for several hours. Authorities were also seen towing a Range Rover from the parking lot of a restaurant, but no word yet if that's connected to the case. And investigators have also found several gloves, but so far, no suspects.
If we knew who it was, we'd be on it.
Guthrie is the mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie. She was reported missing February 1st. She was last seen the night before in her home in the rugged Catalina foothills.
The homes are not right next to each other. They're really spread out. A disappearance, a kidnapping in one home, the next house would not even know about it.
Based on this recently released doorbell camera video at Nancy Guthrie's door, the FBI says the suspect is a man with an average build and about 5'9", 5'10". They say he was wearing an Ozark Trail hiker backpack. Since Guthrie's disappearance, her children have published videos pleading for her safe return. The most recent posted on Savannah Guthrie's Instagram account, old footage of her mother with the message, "We will never give up on her." I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Now, lead investigators do say they believe they will.
Their reactions are so odd. Those are odd-ass reactions.
Odd as hell. That's why the FBI is thinking the same thing. But where it is, she's 84 years old. She lives alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't report her missing until the next day. You trying to tell me, man, you sent your 84-year-old mother home that night and she didn't call to check in?
No, like she can become routine.
Okay, so as long as it's not routine, okay? As long as it's routine. Long as it's routine.
Like you could drop your moms off and then go home and go to sleep.
Well, you kind of like, man, normally, well, I don't know, some people like, man, call me when you get home. Let me know you made it home. True. Or you know what? I'm not sure what the routine is, but so I'm just speculating. But 84-year-old mother, and you report her missing the next day? Did they go over the house?
Hold on. I put a timeline up earlier. Let me do the timeline. Okay, so she got dropped off by her son-in-law at 9:48 p.m. on the 31st.
Okay.
9:50, the garage door was closed. Last reported activity from her.
Yes.
Same night at 1:47, the doorbell camera is disconnected by masked and gloved individual. About 30 minutes later, they detected motion at the front door. About 15 minutes later, her pacemaker app disconnects from her phone, suggesting a medical emergency or removal from the device's range. And then the next morning, right around noon, family finds Nancy missing after she failed to show up for her scheduled church service.
She's still driving, I'll take it.
Well, say she got dropped off, so I don't know. 12:03, they call 911. Search operations of criminal kidnapping. First video on the 4th. So 3 days later, she did the first video. The day after that, they got the ransom plea. 5 days later, surveillance footage. Some dude got detained the day after that. This is yesterday. They sealed off 2 miles, roads 2 miles from the home, gray Range Rover seized. They confirmed the recovery of DNA at the home that does not belong to Nancy or her close contacts. Okay. But no, nephew dropped her off. She supposed to be at church the next morning. They think she's gonna go home and go home, get ready for church. She don't show up at church. They call the police. That part makes sense.
Now, I want you to think of this right here, man.
Mm-hmm.
If this was a movie, right?
Yeah.
If this was a movie, and you're trying to rob a bank, right? So you go up to the bank, and a security guard is there. In the movie, what do they do? If there's a security guard there, and the guys pull up, 4 guys in the car pull up, and the security guard there, what do they do?
Take his gun.
Exactly. They take his gun, tie him up, right? That's in the movie.
Right.
But in reality, right? 4 guys pull up and they see the security guard is working today when he don't normally work. What do?
So all the time?
In reality, right? In real life, 4 guys pull up and they look over there and it's a security guard there, which is normally not there. What do?
I have no fucking idea.
They pull off. Change the plan, we pull off.
Oh yeah, I feel you.
We don't keep going. So now this is reality, right? This is a real kidnapping. The Bitcoin thing has not went through yet. It's been 2 fucking weeks.
You gotta kill that
It's
bitch.
all over the media, huh?
Gotta kill that bitch.
Exactly. That's how that plays out.
If I'm in that house.
Now hold on. Now, and I'm not sure if you move like that or not. Or if you're not built like that, what you do is you drop off at the nearest corner and pull the fuck off.
You gotta kill her.
Now you kill her if there's ties to you. She's seen your face. There's all kind of stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
But if there's no ties to you at all, you abandon, like, you know what, man, she ain't seen nothing. She been taped up the whole fucking 2 weeks. She don't know anything. She had headsets on. She know nothing about us. But there's no DNA on her, nothing. You fucking pull off and jump on a corner in some neighborhood where no cameras at and pull off.
That should have been something we discussed before we did this.
Well, my thing is right here. When there's change of plans and it's not working out, you abandon the crime. You abandon the ship. You don't keep going on like, man, so now, once we get the money, now we gotta go through this truck. Dog, it's already been botched. Right now you're trying to keep them going to prison. You're not even trying to get the money no more. You're trying to keep them going to prison.
Yeah.
So, man, what they think that somebody will give them $6 million and say, okay, well, so now the whole rest of the world not get $6 million or $5 million, open season for kidnapping. That's not how that works, man.
Or you kill her immediately.
Now that right there is the first thing you do. Is when that's what I said. Remember I said lady was dead, man, within like a day. She was dead in a day. If they have not responded to her, man, responded and talking, she been dead. They're like, man, you know what, man, it didn't work out. They didn't send the money immediately kill her. If they send that money in the Bitcoin, they would never hear from that lady or that money again. The FBI already told the family that she's probably dead, and we don't get her back in 40 hours. She's dead.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. Name one time, man, a person that came up missing and they found him again. This is a child that some weirdo kidnapped for 10 years. All these stories end the same way when a kid come missing. They find him in some riverbank or something in the water somewhere floating up.
How the fuck up, yo?
And if they plan this right, if they plan this over a few days, man, they already did a lady grave. They took that lady, man, and killed her, man, threw in a hole and buried her. She already in the grave.
Until they find a body.
Man, that lady probably...
You can keep playing Bitcoin games and shit because they send it awesome. If they don't, fuck it.
Yeah. Well, no harm, no foul. If they get no leads right now, and them guys gone. They say they jump ship. You know what? You familiar with Chinese grave?
Who?
Chinese grave.
Chinese braid?
Chinese grave.
No.
Chinese people, man, you go to a Chinese cemetery. These motherfuckers got these problems with, man, they bury motherfuckers, man, on top of each other. They cheap like that. I hate to say that, man, but they cheap like that. So, man, if you know somebody to kill somebody, sometimes, man, they take them to a Chinese cemetery and bury them again, because it's not uncommon to have two bodies on top of each other. Like people have buried people, man, in a cemetery, kill somebody and bury them in a cemetery, and Chinese people often do that. They, man, fuck around, kill that lady, man, and bury their man already in a cemetery somewhere. Like I said, man, if these are professionals and things like that, man, they could have cremated that lady. That's all kind of shit, man. That's up for grabs. This is a shit show of a lady, man, that they just pretend like it ain't that. It's no big deal. Come on, man. It's like a kid being missing. Being missing for fucking a week. What, it's been 2 weeks?
I mean, what it did was because she's so old.
Huh?
She's so goddamn old. You would almost need a professional to take care of her.
Working through. A nurse. This ain't no regular, like, we got a 17-year-old strong buck that he talking shit, talking about, hey man, take me home. Regular movies doing this guy being real sarcastic. Like, man, we need to get rid of this motherfucker.
This lady was crying and praying.
What happened?
A glimmer of hope that the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie was at a turning point, a dramatic traffic stop, and a home raided by SWAT team members. Another man detained and released. No arrests, according to the sheriff. So what happens now as concern grows about whether the person seen on Nancy's front steps on February 1st will ever be found, and Nancy will ever be.
Let me tell you all something else, man, so you know. So when you kidnap somebody, you gotta make them want them back, right? And you know how you do that?
Proof of life.
Huh?
It seemed like you want to prove that she's still alive.
Exactly. Don't send TMZ a letter. You send a video
Yeah.
to TMZ of her saying, they're not gonna let me go. Please, can you guys please come get me or pay the money?
But then you did all that video shit. You got fucking metadata and shit though.
No. Go get your digital camera. Go get your digital camera.
Yeah.
And you tape it on tape it. You tape your video on something else. You can do it. If these professionals, they can tape it where they can tape it somewhere else, and it's just a fucking video. Send that fucking video or
you have to use like a camcorder, nigga.
Yeah. Send a whole camcorder to them. As long as they get no time and location, as long as they ain't no Wi-Fi, send a whole camcorder to TMZ.
No, you can't. No, you can't. What you gonna send it to the post office? I mean, you gonna drop it off in front of the motherfucker?
How do you get the letter to her? To TMZ? How do you get the letter to TMZ?
What?
How do you get the ransom letter to TMZ?
Email.
So do that again then. Email it. Send an MPG file. Upload it.
Upload like the 4chan or some shit. One of those
Well,
bullshit back alleys. No, it's probably a way to get around it. You get a Mac changer and fucking IP.
If you able to get the goddamn email to them, the same thing you can do with the MP3 file.
But it should like that's my thing. Like
you can have her call.
And it seemed like you would want direct communication with the family.
Yeah, you can have her call mama. Hey, mama, this is me. You can have her call. They can have her call her mama at that night.
Yeah.
And through that fucking phone a mile away. They could win and bought a fucking burner phone. A number of things they could have done.
Yeah, but see, I think it's ways. I think it's information that you transmitting on your phone and all this shit that we don't know that we doing.
Yeah, it's very true. That's why, man, if these are professionals, you would take her to the airport or something like that, man, and make those phone calls where them signals are being blocked and all that kind of shit. Or take her somewhere where I'm thinking about something else. I'm thinking about fucking police chases. But take her somewhere where, man, it's you assuming there's no cameras or on some dirt road or some shit like that, and make a fucking make a call. Make a call to the.
I guess whatever you're doing with the email, you should be able to put a video on it too.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I say you just attach a file to it. Like you
However you encrypting your email, you should be encrypting the other shit too.
Exactly. Even if you're even if you're not calling TMZ directly, you calling another phone, and then calling them and saying the phone is there. Pick the phone up.
I just don't want to be going up against no fucking team of FBI computer nerds.
That's why I'm saying, man, who the fuck? So me trying to tell me These guys are that fucking crafty, man. When they put on a kidnapping with encrypted emails and sending out emails, ransom letters, and you going against the entire fucking nerd FBI. The guys that create backdoors of fucking internets and shit like that. You gonna get satellites in the sky, like and you still playing cat and mouse with these motherfuckers? Man, if you didn't get that money within like 4 hours, man, dog, it's a done deal. The more you talk, the more they keep you talking, the easier it is to catch you. Remember Malawi and fucking Mohammed? They said, man, once they start corresponding with us, man, we knew we had them.
It was over.
Yeah, they said once they sent us that first message, we knew we had them. So first, man, we had no idea who we was looking for. But once in that first letter, we had them.
Because nobody ever did no shit like that. So they don't know what the fuck was going on.
Once you make one attempt to talk to somebody, man, they fucking attach so many fucking things. You're gonna leave some little track somewhere. Nobody's that fucking invisible. The only motherfucker, man, no one's that fucking invisible, man. You gotta think, man, they found Saddam Hussein in a goddamn desert in a fucking hole.
Yeah.
Come on, man. In a country, they were looking for this nigga in another country. They found him in a hole under the ground.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And so these clowns think that, man, they can't be found. Come on, man. You got niggas that's been hiding from fucking child support, man, and child support find you in a cave, fucking up under a cave.
Child support find your ass in Afghanistan.
Exactly.
The bitch got that goddamn bitch. That fucking bitch.
There he is. There's him right there.
That's it right there. He always in them holes and caves and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, put that motherfucker on child support. That's fine as that.
Shit.
No, I feel sorry for that family, man. But somebody knows something. Man, 25 or 2026 is the year of fucking, man. It ain't what it seems.
I heard that.
Nothing's what it seems, man. I'm still convinced that fucking Charlie Kirk bullshit was more to it. Even though Trump shit was a little earlier, I think that was some bullshit. Man, I don't know. Man, pull up Erica Kirk eyes. Pull up fucking Nancy, Lauren fucking what's that chick name? Nancy. What's her name? Something known. Christy known. Pull up her eyes. Pull up that evil ass preacher that says the demons on his plane, so you gotta give him a private plane. If you pull up their eyes, man, something about their eyes, man. I know it sounds crazy, man, but I just don't see people with eyes that look normal like that, man. Just look at their eyes, man. Something ain't right, them eyes. I don't know what it is, man.
What? Thanks for joining the Charlie Kirk Show.
You're welcome. We should do this more often. The focus sitting this close to him. Hello.
What?
Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
That's trying to be dramatic shit.
Well, even though no, I'm just saying just the color of their eyes always. Look at Christy Noem eyes, man.
I don't like that bitch.
Just look at their eyes, though, man. I don't know that color of them eyes seems so fucking
She got some fucking plastic surgery, man. You don't know what the fuck she got going on.
That you can't really get. You can change, but I ain't talking about that. But just the look of her eyes just annoys the fuck out of me, man.
I ain't on close ups.
Well, it says you can. Anytime she's talking, you ain't got to put her eyes in there. Just do her talking.
She got a You heard the story about her in the blanket?
She had a budget
in the blanket.
Yeah, fucking she firing motherfuckers because they didn't bring her a blanket on the plane.
No, the nigga she fucking fired him.
Huh?
The nigga she fucking fired him.
Oh, because they didn't bring a blanket, and he
like
wanted him a
gun. She married and he married, right?
Married. Yeah.
And they obviously fucking. They were switching planes. She left her blanket, and they didn't take the blanket to the new plane. So this dude pops up like, "Oh, you're fucking fired," to the fucking Coast Guard pilot.
You know, I didn't have a way home, so I had to rehire him.
You had to rehire him and shit, yeah.
Ain't no where I get on that plane. I'm like, this thing ain't finna get to tell a moment clear and say, you know what? I'm gonna go on here and land this plane in the ocean.
Crazy as fuck, man.
See them eyes, man? They
I
look
mean,
them same ugly as eyes.
okay, what about him? I mean, what am I looking for here?
Them fucking that eye color, man, just fucking throws me off, man. This shit look demonic to me.
I don't believe in demons and shit, so.
Shit look demonic.
Man, these motherfuckers is clowns, dude. I was watching a story with old girl the other day, and she just couldn't believe that these motherfuckers is running our country. She like, damn, like it's America type shit.
Well, I was sitting here thinking today, though, man. I said, man, you know that something that sits with me, man. When you actually said, man, about the Germans, man, that Americans, we let it get too far. But man, I was thinking back to the Civil War, right? And I'm trying to figure out, man, like, man, what are you, a Democrat or Republican? And I often say I'm neither. Well, I should say I just kind of say I was neither, but I get annoyed when somebody else say they independent, right? But the only reason I say I'm neither because I just want to argue with people. But deep down inside, man, I know I got.
You get a little closer to your mic.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you, but it was like air in between. That's all.
I was on my fucking on the damn iPad. I'm on my fucking phone. All right, check it out. So usually I say I'm neither, but I get annoyed when people say I'm an independent, and I always call bullshit. You know, I'm like, well, who'd you vote for the last couple of times? All that kind of shit. Just prove my point. But I started realizing, man, you gotta pick a side in this situation right here. See, there's times where you can say you can play that game, but there's times when you can't play that game. And I don't think this is the time you can play that game. You gotta pick a side, and you gotta pick a side for what's right, because history gonna remember when you didn't pick the side was right, and it's gonna play a big part later on in life. 10 years from now, 50 years from now, 100 years from now. So you take the civil. Let me explain what I'm talking about. You take the Civil War, right? And I said, remember that Germany thing you're talking about, where the guy said, man, you guys are kind of like in a unique situation right now.
Yeah.
Civil War. You ask, man, a person like, man, what side was you on? And they said, I'm neither. I'm just kind of like sitting there. I don't know what's. I'm like, no, man, you gotta decide which one you own.
Well, the Civil War is different.
Well, let me. I'm not really talking about whether it was right or wrong, because the Civil War, man, on both sides, man, they had an argument.
The Civil War was based on region. So if you lived in the South, you was this. If you lived in the North, you was that.
Yeah, but it was still based on and you could be well. Some people in the North said, you know what, they disagree with it. Some people in the South said they disagree with it.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that if you in the North, you had a good argument. But it was morally wrong, though. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So when you look back, you didn't have a real argument. You just on selfish bullshit. Like to have someone as a fucking prisoner is just wrong, wrong, wrong. You don't have an argument, but you pretend like you did because you didn't have any fucking no backbone to stand for what's right, morally right. You take away laws, but when you start getting to morals, man, morally right and morally wrong, you just gotta say, man, okay, man, even a fucking animal knows that something is not right.
No, but morals change based on society. Like morals change. Like morals not set in concrete.
See, if you know what, if America came from that kind of behavior, but they knew it was wrong, they didn't like, man, like was raised in that behavior. They didn't adapt that behavior. They saw the opportunity to do that behavior. Like that shit wasn't going on that level in fucking Britain, in Great Britain.
No, I had the feudal system.
Huh?
They had the feudal system.
I don't know what that word means.
Feudal.
Fuel.
Feudal.
Okay.
Basically like fucking, it was basically like sharecropping, to be honest with you.
Well, my thing is they knew what they had and they took pure advantage of it and they just never stopped. And they knew in the back of their mind it was wrong. And they just kept going. They're like, shit, we're making a killing. And it's the exact same thing's going right now.
I'm not sure about that though. I'm not sure if they knew it was wrong. I think the people on top knew, but the people that's just going their day-to-day life, I can't say definitively they knew it was wrong. It was backed by the church. It was backed by science. It was backed by society. Based on all the information they had available, Black people were lesser human beings, and they were happy doing this. Like this is what they were here for. And if everything in your society supports that being true, is it really your fault?
Like, let's take countries in Africa, right? Like up until the last 30 years, man, a lot of blacks in America thought that Africa was still like dirt fields and shit like that, man.
Right.
You know. But the rest of the world had been over there and saw that, hey, wait a minute, this country's over here. This country looks just like our country.
Right.
They get the same shit we get.
So was those Black Americans wrong for thinking that, or they just didn't have or everything supported that fallacious view?
Like, why did all of a sudden, man, Black Americans or Black Africans start saying, hey, man, this is not right? Why did they start revolting?
What?
Why was Black slaves, some slaves saying this is not right?
Oh, because the slave always know it ain't right.
So, man, who's stupid? The slave or the owners?
But
or the person
then,
gets the books?
okay, but yeah, but then, like, realistically speaking, if you born into slavery and you grew up on a plantation, your mama a slave, your daddy a slave, this is just how it is.
Now, okay, that right there, just the way it is, and you accept this just the way it is. But that doesn't make you stupid to say, man, I know this is not right. Because you know it feels good, you know it doesn't feel good. You know, like, man, this is bullshit, but hey, just shut up and just go ahead and do it, man. Let's just go and get through it. You know, let's make the best of it. But this is bullshit. Man, Detroit, listen to me.
Yeah, but you take it out. Hold on a second. You take it out the religious aspect of it also.
Man, no, everybody didn't believe in religion, even though, man, they followed the book, but everybody didn't say, man, this is bullshit too.
You talking about Black people?
You said what?
You talking about Black people?
I'm talking about their world. Everybody had the same religion. They went to war over people of heathen thoughts. People thought it was witches, and other religions said it's bullshit. Some people said, man, the Bible says circumcise people, that's bullshit. Some religions said, man, have many wives as possible. Some people said bullshit.
You taking exceptions and making it the rule though. During the time of slavery, slaves was very, very religious.
So let me just say something, okay? Some of them slaves couldn't even read what that shit they was telling them. They would just tell them this book right here says you should be a slave. I was like, huh? Yeah, this book says you should be a slave. Like, that's not what our book says. There were still grandmothers that were had parents from Africa.
Very few. We talking, I mean, if you're talking like the first like 50 years of slavery or something, yeah.
Let's take the first 100 years. Like, how long has slavery ended?
Huh?
How long has slavery ended?
1865, right? End of the Civil War.
So what about almost 200 years?
But no, like 150.
150 years, right? Now, how long did slavery last?
1619. It's about 250 years.
Okay, so the last 250 years, and right now we're 150 years removed from it, right?
Yeah.
My great grandmother died in 1992. Her mother was born a slave, man.
Right. But
So man,
but her mother, who was born a slave, is very unlikely that she remembers African heritage, or her mother remembers African heritage, because most slaves was born in America. Now, if you in Haiti or Jamaica or some shit, you got a stronger possibility of that because they kept shipping, they kept reinforcing African culture. That wasn't their goal, but they was reinforcing African culture because Africans were coming on ships and getting dropped off. So,
like, when was the last slave that showed up on American land from a New World? You know,
in a New World or United States?
United States. I call it United States New World.
Oh.
The last ship arriving. Now you got to take that with a grain of salt, right? Because it's the last.
It was illegal.
Yeah. So you got to take that with they start smuggling, right? So you got to actually do another maybe 20 years after that.
No, because it had slave plantations. It wasn't, at some point, it wasn't worth the risk.
Kind of like selling drugs, importing drugs, United States, marijuana.
Well, yeah, it's like how methamphetamine is like
Marijuana is legal in certain country states. They got marijuana plants, so they'll prevent them from like smuggling through Mexico.
mm, 1860.
1860.
Had 110 men, women, and children.
So let's say 1860, and I can remember my grandmother being born in 1905.
Mm-hmm.
So what?
Yeah,
So
but like,
50.
yeah, but you okay? Okay, so like, yeah. If her people came from that ship,
So well, hold on, relax, man.
I didn't realize. Motherfucker.
Okay, so let's just do the math. Okay, let's work together here. 1860, right? So if my grandma was born in 1905 and her mother was born a slave, her grandmother was definitely probably or possibly had ties to African culture, where she remembered African culture, or she had friends that have African culture, and you multiply her times, you know what, 500,000. There's a possibility there was still a lot of stories being been told from the African culture that was passed on. I'm just saying there's a possibility that it just went a complete cutoff. Now they wanted to cut it off. They made sure
Yeah.
that we didn't. They made sure we didn't learn how to read and communicate with each other. But man, I'm pretty sure there was a lot of stories being passed along. Now, even though there was a lot of different probably tribes, but I think there was a possibility that there was still some ties to the African culture and stories saying, listen how we wasn't like this. We wasn't meant for this.
Well, no, because then you got to remember, like, okay, for one, okay, that one was in 1860. The Civil War was like 5 years later, right? You had the Great Britain ban and 18. Hold on. In 1820, it was illegal.
So,
But in 1808, I'm sorry, 1780 is when Britain made it illegal.
So 100 years later, they were still bringing ships over.
Hearing, yeah, but like, yeah, it was still niggas, selling some dope, but the majority of motherfuckers. Okay, let's say we use methamphetamine as an example, right?
Let's just to keep this explaining in
Hold
Africa.
on, hold on. What I'm saying is that I'm sure some people still import methamphetamine from somewhere, but the majority of motherfuckers know how to cook and make it. And so yeah, like she gonna still like or like with medical marijuana or whatever. Like yes, some people gonna still grow across state lines with it, but you can just grow it. What I'm saying is after Britain made it illegal, that's when the slave plantations and all that shit emerged like
Mhm.
more. And it was the preferred way to do it because they didn't want to deal with that African shit.
Okay, that I'm not disputing.
I
What
don't
I'm
know what
disputing,
percentage I would find or say. All I'm saying is like, yes, in certain instances, there was reinforcement of African culture, but the
okay.
majority, no. That's all I'm saying.
Well, okay, I think we agree, and I'm not saying the majority. I'm just saying there was people that still had ties to African culture. And
Sure.
when I say African culture, I'm just saying, hey man, this is not how we were. We wasn't born for this.
Well, what was going on in Africa before that did?
Um, I don't know. It was
Slavery
made.
for 1,300 years by the Arabs.
Well, maybe we was built for slavery then, man. Maybe.
Shit.
Well, maybe we was. I mean, well, my thing is, where if you convinced that what, man, Africans, black people just too damn dumb to believe that they wasn't built for slavery, then okay, I ain't argue with it.
I mean,
But but in
what
my
I'm saying
opinion,
is, like, I, I just want to be fair to those individuals who may have been born into slavery and didn't know a different existence. And
I'm not
then
saying I'm
they
not saying
had
they
the
were.
and then they had the influence of this religion shit saying that God put you in this place and things will be better when you die, and this is your normal place, and the everything around you supports this idea. I'm not gonna call that person stupid because they don't know no better. I'm
Well,
just not gonna call that person stupid.
I'm not calling them stupid.
You
What
just
I'm
did
saying,
though.
no, if you didn't catch sarcasm. What I'm saying is this right here: that there were still, man, blacks in the United States that knew that this was not right. They
Yes.
weren't dumb. They weren't thinking like, oh, this makes sense what they're doing to us. This is what God wants. And somebody said, this is exactly what God wants. And why? Well, no, I'm not buying that. I think they knew that this number. And the reason why I'm saying it is just bring them up to right now. Like it took us a little time dancing, but I'm saying right now, man, you got these people right now, man, that's ignoring this chart, just Jeffrey Epstein bullshit, and Joe ignoring Pam Bondi on TV, sounding a goddamn buffoon. Christian Nome with plastic surgery and makeup all on the fucking face, standing in front of Epcot and watching fucking people getting ripped from their families, all that kind of shit. Man, you're not stupid to not know that's wrong. You're not gonna convince me that everybody like, man, no, it
Let me
makes
tell
sense.
you. Let me tell you why it's worse. Okay, let's say you was born a white man in 1750 and shit, right? And out of your humanity, you know what y'all doing to these black people is wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
The trade-off is you're getting insanely fucking rich.
That's where I'm going with this right
Your
now.
kids is gonna be rich.
That's
And
where I'm going with this.
it'll be easy to be like, God said it's okay, fuck it.
That's
Okay.
where I'm going. That's where I'm
Hold
going
on.
to right.
Let's say you live in Germany um post World War I. Treaty of Versailles happened. Your economy tanked. Everything is fucked up. And then some motherfucker come and he fixed the fucking economy. And y'all taking over other countries and y'all like a world leader and everybody's scared of the Germans and shit. It may be easy to be like, yeah, I know we doing these Jews ain't cool, but fuck it, we winning. These motherfuckers is following horrendous shit and ain't even benefiting nothing from it. That's what make them worse. Look, man, let's say somebody right now tell me, look, dog, um, in the next 10 years, you're gonna have $500 million. But we gotta do horrible things to these Filipinos. I don't know.
I think you do know.
I don't know.
I think you do know.
I might be able to compartmentalize and get over the bullshit.
I think you do know what you would do. But my thing is just right here.
It might be some fucked up Filipino. It might be some fucked up. I might be involved in some human atrocities.
But this is what I'm saying right now. We're watching in real time.
I don't know. I really don't know. Fuck you.
I think you know. We're watching in real time right now. Real time. That they're just ignoring. Because man, everyone wants to stand on the fence. And man, sometimes man, we argue, man, about well, Democrats do this right here. I don't think this is the time anymore. Democrats may do some fucked up shit, but right now this is something else. This is our slavery. Morally wrong shit is happening. And so, man, I think
slavery is such a unique thing, man.
And I think, man, this is a time, man, we need to say this is wrong, and we gotta actually end it.
What's wrong?
This bullshit is going on right now.
Like what?
Like, man, we ignoring Jeffrey Epstein fucking files. We getting locked. We locking up people, man, for journalism. We locking up people, man, for just telling the truth. We're actually turning our Department of Justice against our own country. We're turning our actual army against our own country. We're turning the National Guard against our own citizens. We're actually killing our own citizens. I mean, we're just doing. You can just follow step by step, day by day, and say, okay, man, that probably wasn't right. We move on to something else. Man, the president the other day told somebody, "Fuck you," twice.
Real?
And gave him a finger. And we like, man, like, okay, yeah, I know what, man.
Okay.
We just ignoring shit over until what do we need to happen? That man that we haul off fucking, you know, where we slaughter 800 people, man, is out there protesting. Is that what we need to do? And then we say, oh, whoa. If we get to that point, man, we can't ever come back from that. We get to a point, man, where we're not gonna be able to come back from it. Remember you said Germans, man, they haven't came back from that yet. Because when they go somewhere else, man, people still associate them with that Nazi shit.
Yeah.
And man, we do something so heinous, man, we may never be able to come back from it.
Well, see, the thing is this. I think America's second biggest mistake was not hanging the Confederates.
That's what I was saying. When you remember you said that, man, we should have rooted them out tooth and nail. But see, the problem with that was, man, you had brothers fighting brothers.
Yeah,
it wasn't like, man, it wasn't like another country fighting us. It was literally a civil war of brothers fighting brothers, cousins fighting cousins. So it was kind of like, man, hard to say, man, I already fought you. Now we need to hug and we need to get along. We just need to get along. That whole agree but disagree. We agree to disagree. And that right there maybe wasn't something we was able to do.
After Germany happened, America and Russia had to go into Germany and they did denazification. They had to get rid of all the teachers and everything. They went in there and changed the ideology of a country. We needed that. That's why we got the problems. That's why we got the problems we got now.
Yeah,
like all this shit that we dealing with are Confederates' children.
And they tried to, man, but they tried to, man. They tried to, man, by trying get them reparations, all that kind of crazy ass shit, giving them land, all kind of shit like that, man. But they were still resenting. They're like, no, motherfucker, you didn't give us enough. You didn't give us enough.
No, the only thing that was enough is give me my niggas back.
That's exactly what they wanted. They wanted theirs back. They wanted, man, give me what I had before. Give me my way of living back.
And see, the thing is, and when we talk that moral shit, like the people on the North had a better moral compass or something, that shit was not about niggas. Because if it was, they would not have allowed Jim Crow to happen. That shit was about the economy.
So now I go back to my big screen topic. when motherfuckers say slavery ended on Southern South, I said, man, slavery didn't end to man. Everybody was fucking kind of equal when the laws were applied equally, right? So
No,
that's after
I'm not going to somebody whose daughter could be sold, who can be raped and beaten and hung for no reason. I'm not gonna say that's the same thing as fucking. I can't get a cab.
I ain't saying the same thing. I said, man, slavery didn't completely end.
It ended. I mean, I'm not gonna disrespect those people's experience by equating things that's not slavery to slavery.
Well, I'm not disrespecting their experience. What I'm saying is,
If you
man,
call
that
it, if you saying something is slavery that's not slavery, you kind of are.
okay, give me 2 minutes, okay?
I give you 5.
Okay. All I'm saying is that, man, slavery was supposed to have ended at a certain time, but they continue to go through hell. So, man, when people say, "Hey, man, yeah, y'all slavery ended, man," I'm like, you're like, yeah, but nothing changed for us. But slavery ended, yeah, but nothing changed for us. But for slavery is it was a hell of an experience. And you trying to say, okay, man, they started raping us, they start fucking doing this to us and doing that to us and selling us. But goddamn, they were doing every fucking thing else that was part of slavery.
So we need another name for that.
Continuous in slavery.
It's not slavery. If you, I mean, you know, you keep disrespecting your. You know what though? You Chico. So we may not have the same shit. You Indian and all this shit. I'm a nigga, and so maybe I see these people a different way than you do. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I ain't the motherfucker like Kid Rock walk around with a Trey hat on. Yeah, on national TV. I said, I saw that fucking. I saw I take a picture of that shit and send it to you.
Please don't. I don't need that shit.
You ain't see these. And then the nigga, then she called him Bob. I said, no, call nigga Kid Rock.
Thank you for having some fucking some sympathy on me, man. I don't need that type of imagery in the middle of my day, man.
That shit was fucked up.
You know the fucked up part for you, it would have been daytime. So for me, it would have been the middle of the night. So I probably would have got it at work or some bullshit.
Yeah, that was fun. I said, man. But one thing I say is, man, he don't even know though, because he didn't have the D hat on. He had a Detroit hat. They say
It says Detroit.
Yeah. So I said he definitely didn't know. I said, oh, so he definitely out of the fucking loop.
No, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be that. It's supposed to be that white D over that navy, boy.
Yeah, he had a fucking white hat on with like Detroit written across it. I said,
or you can get the. I got an weight cap. You know what I'm saying? But it's supposed to be over that navy, man. Nothing else matter, man. You ain't no fucking spelled out Detroit.
Yeah, I said, nigga, he trying to everybody. I'm like, yeah, motherfuckers supposed to ask you where you from. You supposed to point your hat. Like, motherfucker, if you don't recognize this,
the fuck you mean?
What is that? He's like, nigga, you don't even deserve for me to tell you where I'm from. If you
The
don't know
fuck
what
you
the fuck
mean?
yeah. So that nigga had the Detroit hat on. I'm like, this nigga here, man.
Like, bitch, I'm from the D.
Then he had that fucking 1970s porn man mustache on.
Man, well, you know, I didn't know I didn't know he came from some rich ass shit. I didn't know that.
Man, I told that man, and it was a nigga.
Oh shit! Hold on, I just got another video idea. God damn it!
Well, it was the motherfucker at the job, right? Talking, but we talking about fucking and you know, sometimes when somebody's talking to you, man, but they got an ulterior motive, man. So I play along with it, man, like I'm just confused and don't know. But he was just sitting there talking about kids being born and come to find that it's not your kid. And he was dying to tell me a story about, you know what, how some man walked out of the fucking hospital when his kid came out dark skinned, mixed. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And I know it doesn't happen. I mean, but anyway, I said, shit, it happened, same thing happened to Kid Rock. I told you about the story, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I saw him kind of like just stop talking. Like, I like, no, I want to go in detail. I'm like, yeah, Kid Rock. Oh, you didn't know Kid Rock was a rapper, a breakdancer. Oh, you didn't know that. Yeah, you didn't know that old Robert was another Robert Van Winkle. Ain't fucking Vanilla Ice named Robert too?
Robert Van Winkle.
Yeah, ain't Kid Rock named Robert Ritchie or some shit? Robert.
I don't fucking know. I'm
Robert.
not up on the Kid Rock lore.
Say what?
I'm not up on the Kid Rock fucking lore. I don't know his goddamn his fucking origin story.
Well, shit, man, you got him and Eminem fucking coming out of the D.
Hey man, you know what? Well, actually, Eminem is a product of your state, but I fuck with I got my issues with Eminem, but I definitely take Eminem over all the above.
Shit, man.
I
I was
take
hoping
Eminem.
him and I just can't believe him and Kid Rock didn't do a song together.
Eminem did a fuck Trump song. You know what I'm saying? You know, Eminem ain't running around the interviews saying nigga or nothing. He probably could have played all those games, and he didn't. So you know what I'm saying?
Which
I'm
is
giving man
fucking
respect for
weird.
that.
Which is weird as hell for Eminem never played cosplay, never. Even though it was in him, but he never. I guess man, he probably said man, 50 Cent too ignorant, but he just never went down that road.
I think he respects our culture in real life.
Yeah, he got to, because you got to know he got fucked around a lot by some nigga shit. I'm pretty sure. But
Yeah,
he
especially
like,
in Detroit.
yeah, he like, you know what, man, this shit. I can't pretend like I didn't grow up here. I can't pretend like I ain't from here. If the nigga lived on 8 Mile, he lived on 8 Mile.
Yeah,
Or
but
7 Mile, where the fuck you from?
he was on the other side of 8 Mile, but still, it was 8 Mile.
Yeah, that man, you gotta think fucking the miles a mile. I mean, 7 miles long, right?
No, nigga, 8 Mile is the separation between Detroit and the suburbs. He was on the other side of 8 Mile, but it's still 8 Mile.
Well, I guess poor is
Like,
poor. I don't think he don't sound like he came from a rich family to me. Now
no, no,
his baby mama, she can't have some money.
I don't know.
There's that twin girl, like she had a little bit of money with the way it looked. You know, she was kind of sexy at first, but then she turned to awful looking. I'm like, God damn.
Eminem's baby mama,
Yeah,
I never seen her.
Kim, when they was young, she was kind of cute. When the baby was young, we got like a bunch of kids now, but I mean, that first
Oh,
kid.
Kim, yeah, okay.
Yeah, the first kid was she was cute. Now she like a straight crackhead. Oh my god, damn!
Hold on.
She got a twin
Oh,
sister.
you gotta watch this confirmation hearing.
Of who?
About to find out. Shit. Nigga, that's the 90s right there, boy. You don't get no more 90s than that, nigga.
Yeah, she was cute then.
I remember girls used to wear their lipstick like that.
Yeah, the little what's it called
Jean jacket fits and shit.
mm-hmm. What is it called? It flesh color paint? I mean lipstick or something like that, or what's it called?
I don't goddamn know.
It's like the color of your skin, something like that. That whole fucking bad Medina look.
Goddamn, Haley.
She married a hillbilly.
Oh shit, this real life though.
That's Kim right there.
Yeah, Kim enjoys methamphetamine.
Yeah, she kept having kids too.
She's a methamphetamine enthusiast.
Yeah. Well, it's a quick high and fucking super cheap.
Hold on. Hold on. I want you to check this shit out here.
Include on the record. So with that, we'll start with you, Mr. Brooks. Your floor is yours.
Thank you, Chairman Risch, Ranking Member Shaheen, and distinguished members of this committee. I'm honored to appear before you today as President Trump's nominee for Assistant Secretary of State for Oceans and International Environmental and Scientific Affairs. If confirmed, I look forward to working with you and your staff. Bring pressure to oppose.
This ain't the dude. Hold on. This the dude, Jeremy. This is what we came here for. Oh, Jeremy.
As a global power and our national interests in the oceans, outer space, and the ever-deepening interface between biology and technology. If confirmed, I will ensure that OES is at the leading edge of U.S. efforts to explore, exploit, and defend these vital frontiers so that the 21st century remains an American century. Thank you for considering my nomination.
Mr. Brooks, Mr. Carl, you're up.
Thank you so much, Chairman Risch, Member Shaheen, distinguished members of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. I'm honored to appear before you today as President Trump's nominee for Assistant Secretary in the Bureau of International Organization Affairs at the Department of State.
International Organization Affairs. I don't know what the fuck that motherfucker do, but it sounds important.
I'm deeply grateful for the trust that President Trump has placed in me to guard America's interests at the United Nations and broader multilateral system. If confirmed, I will work to advance this vision by holding the UN and international organizations accountable, promoting transparency, and ensuring that the U.S. taxpayer's contributions to these organizations.
Man, this motherfucker didn't shave or nothing, man. It's just fucking suit on. What kind of motherfucker is this?
Delivers tangible results that align with our national interest. I'd like to begin by acknowledging 3 people who are sadly no longer with us, because without them, I would certainly not be sitting before you today. In my career, I had the tremendous privilege of learning at the side of the late Secretary of State George Shultz, for whom I served as the right-hand man for almost a decade while a research fellow at the Hoover Institution at Stanford. And integrity of international.
And if the Senate had an opportunity there, I'd try and do 12 years there.
Ambassador extraordinary and plenipotentiary, whatever the fuck that mean, of the ambassador of Ireland. Okay.
Think they're all man loyal to Trump.
They'll always go.
The guy with the unshaved, he said, man, he gonna be the OAN. Man, basically putting the hold them to tariffs.
Emphasize the need.
Basically said, man, I'll make sure I don't give them no more money. The UN. And make sure they pay their percentage.
Some kind of legitimate treaty agreement regarding this. So thanks so much. Senator Shaheen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I have some letters of opposition and op-eds that are regarding Mr. Carl's nomination. I ask that they be entered into the record.
They'll be entered in the record.
Thank you. I also ask that certain articles and tweets by him be entered into the record.
They'll be put in the record.
Thank you. Mr. Carl, you've argued that feminism has led to a downfall in American society. You've written that the Civil Rights Act has warped American culture. You've argued that the United States should be a white Christian nation.
You hear this shit?
Yeah. Were you thinking Donald Trump nominating any blacks, anything? Fuck no.
You also wrote that a post.
Ben Carson was the last nigga he nominated. He nominated no more blacks. He eradicating all fucking black prints on anything. Taking anything that's black down. It's gonna be a white fucking country.
How you go to a confirmation hearing knowing you got this background, dog?
It's a benefit. It's a win-win.
Hold on. You like feminism is bad, civil rights is bad?
Feminist America is one of falling fertility, rapidly rising out of wedlock births, and religious collapse.
I love this shit when they bring out that big ass post.
They want you to see what you did.
Them big ass posters, yeah.
In October of 2024, you stated on the Christian Ghetto podcast that, and I quote, Jews have often loved to play the victim, that the Holocaust dominates so much of modern Jewish history, and that Jews love to see themselves as oppressed. In 2024, you wrote that you want America to be a Christian nation, and you continued to make anti-Semitic and racist comments even after your nomination was announced last year. You know, Mr. Carl, in this committee, we've heard from many nominees who have said things that we don't agree with. But since your nomination, you've tweeted more than 850 times, appeared on 5 podcasts, and repeated this language. This is a pattern. So how can this committee trust that you can represent the United States of America to the rest of the world in an unbiased manner when you have taken no steps to restrain?
Because it's why you can at least say, listen, in my private sector life, I espouse some views that may be controversial, but after my nomination, I recognize that I may be a representation of the country, so I keep those personal views to myself. He can't even pull that.
That's not wrong for what he's thinking. He's saying they wrong.
After.
You're like, what the fuck y'all problem?
So, okay, so when he respond here, you think he gonna double down or he gonna back off?
Yeah, I think he's gonna double down.
Okay.
Your nomination.
Senator, thank you very much for this this question. I didn't recognize a couple of those quotes, but I'll.
Well, they're accurate.
I'll take your word for it that they are.
She said they're accurate.
In fact, accurate for the record. Senator Shaheen, I'm greatly understand the importance of restraint and conduct. I unfortunately have to balance that with my current job, which involves advocacy. And I can't, as I've explained, just totally put away my day job. I'm not being offered a job here yet. I'm trying to hopefully be offered a job.
Mr. Carl, it's hard to understand how we can trust you if you can't even.
I think I said my white job has been a full-time white supremacist.
It's a day job. I don't know what the fuck that mean. Like, my first job was important too. They expect me to fucking get a bunch of niggas in.
I still got bills to pay. And I'm a full-time white supremacist.
Yeah, I still got a nigga quota to make. Y'all talking about this bullshit. I ain't get the job yet.
Oh,
he
shit.
got a nigga quota to make.
Oh shit! Now, if I get this job, I'll chill out. I'll chill out on the white supremacy shit. But you got to hire me first.
Restrain yourself during the period in which you've been nominated. Mr. Long, thank you for your comments. I am a fellow Missourian, although I was only born in St. Charles. I grew up in Sykeston and lived in Kirksville as well.
These your people.
Damn, he said some St. Charles. God damn, St. Charles ain't number fucking what? Like 9 minutes from me?
Wait a minute. I think I went to St. Charles for
yeah.
When I was trying to get into the Air National Guard or some shit. Is it a base out there?
No, you went to what you call it? No, St. Charles is like right out of St. Louis City. You went to Scott Air Force Base.
Okay.
I appreciate what you said about not coming to the House with any political background and being a business person. I understand that. But I am concerned about comments that you made when you referenced Iceland as the United States' 52nd state. You referred to yourself as the potential governor of Iceland. I understand that you intended this to be viewed as a joke, but I would urge you to understand that when you are being considered as an ambassador of the United States, that those kinds of jokes aren't necessarily viewed by others as funny. And I think that's what we're hearing in Iceland, that there's some real concern about what your views are if you serve as ambassador there. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to correct that rhetoric and to express what you think the ambassador to the country of Iceland should be thinking about in terms of approaching that job, and how important it is to recognize the importance of Iceland as an ally of the United States, critical, as I think you did reference in your opening statement, to our own national security.
Thank you. And as soon as that, and you say joke or whatever, the way I became apprised of that was from a member of the diplomatic corps from Iceland, and they, explained. They started. I hadn't even heard it was in anything, and I was shocked because it was like a three-way. Somebody said something, somebody else said something, and yes, I did add the part about the 52nd state, which it was want you to have her be your deputy chief of mission.
Before we could stop.
So share with me.
We agree. Wife and us, we got on a Teams with Joni, and at the end of that thing, I said, "Will you be my deputy chief of mission for a year?" And she said, "No." I said, "Why?" She said, "I want to be."
He said at the end of that thing.
Yeah, this motherfucker donated a whole bunch of money.
For 2 years, and all three of us fell in love with her, and she's agreed to stay for 2 years. So, like I said, a quip that shouldn't have been said, and I apologize for it immediately, and that's all I've got to say on that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your
That's how you look.
clarification. I think it's an important lesson in
I came for Jeremy, goddamn.
Diplomacy matters. What we say matters as Americans representing this country.
Thomas Massey just said, you see this shit?
What?
After seeing unredacted Epstein files, He took to social media to make it clear that if he dies in the next few days, then it's neither by his own hand or natural causes. He just posted that.
On X?
Yeah, I guess. On this Thomas Macy statement. Statement.
Oh. I am not suicidal. I eat healthy food. The brakes on my car and truck are in good shape. I practice good trigger discipline and never point a gun at anyone, including myself. There are no deep pools of water on my farm, and I'm a pretty good swimmer. Damn. That's how that man feel?
That ain't the only one. He's posted it.
Alex Jones
Alex
says,
Jones said me too.
There's another big white supremacist right here. You think you are much more important than you actually are.
That's crazy.
Hey man, that's how that man feel, man.
They just nervous, man. Told you, man, there's some killing going on, man.
I mean, a lot of big money, a lot of big fucking reputations on the line.
Exactly why fucking Donald Trump had to be president. Because they knew what was getting ready to happen. So they did that fake ear shooting and had that kid set up and killed. Man, you still don't know what that kid's middle name is, do you?
Who?
That guy that shot down Trump in the ear.
No.
You don't know his name probably at this point, do you?
No.
Yeah.
I don't know motherfucker name who shot fucking Reagan either. Shit.
I think if you'd been around when the nigga that shot Reagan, you would know his name.
Yes. Yeah, Reagan actually got shot. This nigga didn't even get shot.
Yeah, but no, you know, social media fucking.
Magic bullet ass shit.
I just can't believe you sitting there pretend like you don't remember John Hinckley Jr. name. Get the fuck out of here.
Nah, fuck you. Google ass nigga.
I'm not Googling. I'm on a fucking what's called.
Senator Curtis.
Thank you. Mr. Carl, I think I heard in your testimony something very similar to this, but core among U.S. interests at international organizations is the protection of U.S. sovereignty and our national security, and I'm sure that we agree on this. What I didn't hear, and what is important to me, high among these interests is the protection of our allies, namely Israel and Taiwan, both of which are consistently mistreated in these international organizations. And as Assistant Secretary for International Organizations, I view one of your core responsibilities to counter the systemic anti-Semitism and anti-Israel bias in international organizations. Israel rarely asks for direct military intervention from the United States, but it does ask for diplomatic support and helping. So in your podcast of October 24, you said the United States spends too much time and energy on Israel, often to the detriment of our own national interest. So share with me specifically what is in the U.S. interest that has been harmed by sustained American support of Israel?
Senator, thank you for that question. It's a good one. And I think in the context.
He in a tough situation, right? Because to his fucking whatever audience he done developed, he the straight shooter who don't bullshit. So like he gotta stick to his guns.
Well,
This particular role.
he can't backtrack because man, he's bounded by another organization. He can't say, man, I'm not racist, man, because he look bad in front of them. They're like, no, you getting hired and you're gonna actually, man, say what the agenda is. The country's backing you. Missouri backs you. The president backs you. He want to nominate. Donald Trump knew who he was. That's why he fucking nominated him.
And he gonna get nominated anyway. He got the fucking votes.
Actually, we are Israel's closest ally. I mean, in that.
Yeah. So how is it
in that? So I think in the UN context, I wish the UN would stop being anti-Semitic all the time, and so therefore we could stop. There's a million other problems like the Rohingya.
Let me hold that thought because I kind of want to come back to that. But let me just clarify. Do you think it's all one directional? And what I mean by that is it's all U.S.
You see how Republicans didn't show up for the hearings? They're like, man, we're going to vote him anyway. Don't even show up.
Yeah.
See them empty seats and shit? They're like, man, we ain't got to show up for this shit. Where are we going to vote him?
We good.
Yeah. That's crazy, ain't it? You start seeing, like, man, like even when it was Pam Bondi, if you look at them chairs, those Republican chairs, they were empty.
Yeah, like we didn't get to show up. That damn.
Yeah, we are on board already.
The intelligence, the
I think
military
Cory Booker's on here
innovations
too.
and things like that come back to the United States.
No, I'm so glad you mentioned that, Senator Curtis. So I, as mentioned before, spent 10 years under one of the greatest friends of Israel that the U.S. diplomatic corps has ever had, and Secretary.
I'm going to quote some of them.
God
the Jews
damn.
love to see themselves favor. Just going to put it in
I was going to a random spot in the Jews.
context.
Well,
In a
to
study
see them
released
still,
this
that's
week by the
oppressed.
American Jewish Committee, 1 in 3 Jewish Americans state that they have personally experienced anti-Semitism at least once in the last year.
he like, yeah, bitch, you proving my point.
And last year, another study that found nearly 1 in 5 Jewish Americans were assaulted, physically threatened, or harassed right here in the United States. Our own citizens, all of our constituents.
All of that very, very troubling. But I also find it troubling that your resume is pretty thin for this position. You did serve as Deputy Assistant Secretary for Fish, Wildlife, and Parks. I'm sure there's some international issues that might resonate for. I do serve as the ranking Democrat on the Interior Spending Committee, so I'm very familiar with those issues. But that's a very small piece internationally. You did serve as a visiting fellow in Resource Development, Energy and Resources Institute in New Delhi, a research fellow at the Hoover Institute on Energy. But I believe, and I'll just ask it plainly in case I'm mistaken, you have not served for the United States previously on the U.S. mission to the UN. Is that correct?
That's correct, Senator.
Thank you. And I believe you have not served in an international organization. Is that correct?
Senator, thank you for that question. As I referred to in my opening remarks, I was an official research assistant on several of Professor Juma's at Harvard's
global infrastructure through its Belt and Road Initiative. Yet Communist China continues to receive financing.
Any such lending. It is highly inappropriate.
Great. Well, I do want to commend the Asian Development Banks for its recent decision to allow investments in
culture that comes from our history. There's
Like what?
you also for giving me an opportunity.
Policy bank standards, even by China.
Fortunate to have a country which is second to none, and in my opinion, above all.
I'd like to respond to at least a few of them. One of the things you have said is that anti-white discrimination is the most pervasive and politically salient form of racism today. So do you continue to believe that anti-white discrimination is more salient than the discrimination faced today by blacks, Latinos, Muslims, or other American groups?
Well, Senator, thank you for that question. And thank you also for giving me an opportunity to speak at a little bit of length. I haven't necessarily had much opportunity to respond.
I'm going to have at least one more question for you, so I'll give you a minute or two to respond.
Yes. So thanks to the great work of my friend Harmeet Dillon as the Assistant Attorney General of Civil Rights, I actually think that we've done an incredible job in this administration of getting rid of certain policies that discriminate particularly against white Americans, but also in some cases Asian Americans.
Well, just maybe answer my question. Let's rewind, because maybe you'll suggest that everything is fine now. Let's rewind a year ago. A year ago, were white Americans the most discriminated against group in the United States? You said it. So
yeah.
Senator,
no, certainly this is my belief. I'm not running away from that. I think that while, of course, all races in different contexts can be subject to really severe discrimination, that when we look at our legal structures, white Americans are often very disfavored in overt ways. We're seeing this in the Small Business Administration, many other places.
So your belief is that white Americans face more discrimination, at least prior to the Trump administration fixing this, than black Americans?
On average, Senator, yes, that's correct, and I'm not running away from that statement at all.
You have made several statements about your worry regarding the erasure of white culture in America. I understand Irish American culture. I understand Italian American culture. I maybe don't understand white culture as well. Tell me the values, the white values that you believed are being erased by the current American government or prior American governments.
Music, man.
Huh?
He said music. Well, listen to this. Listen to the statement right here.
Senator, thank you for
Listen to this right
that
here.
question.
What?
Listen to the statement right here. The nigga said we're taking his music.
Oh.
I would say that it's not, I didn't use the word values, I used the word culture. I think that anytime you have large degrees of mass immigration, you're going to have a change in culture, if those are, especially if they're coming from culturally dissimilar backgrounds.
The nigga say food and music. Go ahead, play.
And no matter what group it is, if it were in China, it would be the same thing. If it were in New Guinea, it would be the same thing.
Yeah, but tell me about what that means. I mean, culture is values, right? It's expressions of identity. Tell me what is being erased. I mean, give me some examples of what you believe are being erased about white identity. What is white identity to you?
Well, Senator, thank you for that.
Tell me how it's different than other identities.
Senator, I think the question of identity is something that lots of scholars
I get you can do a sermon on identity, but just tell me how you define white identity and what you think is being erased about white identity.
Senator, it would have, thank you again for the question, and genuinely thank you for finally letting me have a chance to explain some of my comments a little bit. But I would say that, they could be things like going to a certain type of Christian church and that sort of culture, which is very different. I mean, you can all be Christians, right, in a certain environment, but African-American Christians might worship differently than Chinese Christians, that might worship differently than white Christians. Of course, sometimes you have multi-ethnic churches, but things like that, certain types of Anglo-derived culture that comes from our history.
Like what?
Let me think about this. Senator, I would say if you were to look at the book by one of your former Senate colleagues, Born Fighting, about the sort of Scotch-Irish military culture and certain, pride that went with that. That would be one example. Obviously, you could have sub-elements of that culture. You could have Italians, you could have Irish, and those are in many ways more.
Yeah, but you're worried about white culture. You're not worried about, you're now retreating to ethnic identity. You don't speak about ethnic identity. You speak about white identity. So tell me the values that stitch together white identity and that make it different than black identity.
Senator, again, thank you.
You spent a lot of time talking about this and writing about this.
Yeah, no.
Be able to, you're struggling with this. But you should be fairly easily, I would assume, able to tell us your thoughts on how white identity is different than other kinds of identity and how it's being erased.
Senator, again, thank you for the question. I'm just trying to be I'm just trying to be very precise. Because I'm here in front of a Senate committee, I would say that the white church is very different than the black church in terms of its tone and style on average. Foodways could often be different.
And those
music could be different.
And those are being erased.
Music could be different. Well, if you look at the Super Bowl halftime show, which was not in English this year.
So our ability to access white churches or white food or white music is being erased?
Senator, again, thank you for the question. What I would say is the biggest thing, because actually, contrary to many of the comments that have been shown, racial nationalists have been very, very critical of my work because they correctly say that I'm actually, of course, not a racial nationalist, which I'm not. I'm a civic nationalist. I am concerned with the majority common American culture that we had for some time that through particularly mass immigration, I think has become much more balkanized, and I think that weakens us. And again, I'm not running away from that comment. I'm not apologizing for it.
Well, I'm way over my time. I think you're struggling to answer this question, right? Because underlying your beliefs is a sentiment that white culture is just simply better. That white people
Senator, I have to
superior.
disagree with that.
But you haven't been able to really coherently answer any of my questions about how you define white culture, how you define the threat that's posed. I appreciate you being very honest that you believe that white Americans are subject to greater amounts of discrimination in this country than black Americans. I do not think that's a sentiment that is shared broadly on this committee. It is all what makes you just wildly unqualified to take this post. I'm well over my time. Thank you.
Well, Senator, I do appreciate you letting me actually respond. I genuinely do. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Carl, I'll follow up a little bit. You gave a speech to the National Conservatism Conference in July of 2024 entitled "On the Persecution of Whites in America," and one of the things you said was American whites are victims of a cultural genocide. A cultural genocide. Where to start? So you'd agree with me, wouldn't you, that whites are pretty well represented in the United States Senate?
They are well represented in this body, yes, Senator.
And how about in the House of Representatives?
Senator Kaine, I don't have those particular numbers. However,
But you would agree that they're pretty well represented in the House of Representatives.
Senator, I would, again, thank you for the question. I would point out that there were no white Protestants by birth in the 25 cabinet members under Joe Biden.
How about in the ranks of American presidents throughout history, including now pretty well represented whites?
Senator.
And how about in the ranks of vice presidents during American history now? Whites pretty well represented in that group, right?
Senator, thank you again for the question.
Yeah. I don't think it's hard. How about on the United States Supreme Court? Throughout our history and including now, whites are pretty well represented on the United States Supreme Court, correct?
Senator, will you permit me an opportunity to finish my answer? I think obviously historically, I would of course agree with you. Of course, the vast majority of Americans were white at that time. It's now a much more diverse society.
Let's focus on right now. How about in the ranks of American governors? You think whites are pretty well represented?
Senator, thank you for that question. I would just have to look at the numbers. I don't know.
Okay, how about this? In the ranks of CEOs of major corporations today, let's not talk about today. You think whites are pretty well represented?
Senator, thank you for the question. I suspect that they are probably pretty well represented in that, but there are other areas where they're not as well represented.
How about in the ranks of high-income people? And we can define it however you want. Let's just say like top 10% of wealthy Americans. You think whites are pretty well represented?
Senator, thank you for the question. They would certainly be underrepresented with respect to Asian Americans, but they would be overrepresented with respect to other groups.
Yeah. So a cultural genocide, that's a stiff claim. And it's an interesting one because it's kind of a white victimhood argument. But if I remember my colleague, Senator Rosen, she was reading comments to you where you had been saying, man, Jews play the victim. Jews like to be the victim. And yet you're making a claim that whites are victimized by a cultural genocide when all the statistics would say, not just in history, but today, that whites are very well represented at every level of every institution. They're very well represented in the incomes of Americans. And that doesn't mean each person is high income or each person is a Supreme Court justice, but you could look institution after institution in this country and the facts completely rebut the notion that whites are victimized by a cultural genocide. I have a question for Mr. Long I want to get to. Mr. Long, we've had a little controversy in the last couple of weeks about Iceland. President Trump gave a speech in Davos, and he said, I'm helping NATO until the last few days when I told them about Iceland, they loved me. The problem with NATO is that we'll be there for them 100%, but I'm not sure that they'll be there for us. They're not there for us in Iceland, that I can tell you. Our stock market took the first dip yesterday because of Iceland. So Iceland's already cost us a lot of money. Now, the White House said the president didn't mistake Greenland and Iceland. Senator Rubio at a hearing here last week or 2 weeks ago said the president mistook Greenland and Iceland. But let me ask you this. Do you know of any problem we have with Iceland? Has Iceland cost us a lot of money? Did Iceland cause our stock market to decline? Are you aware of any facts that would support that Iceland has cost us a lot of money or hurt our stock market?
Everything, we won't take this against my time, I guess, but don't you have a nexus to Missouri also? Like
I do.
I thought.
I'm a Mizzou grad.
You got two here now. I got a couple of opportunities. But Senator, everything that I have been given to understand, everything I've been studying the last 6 months, Iceland is a very
goddamn open white supremacist got confirmed. Open white supremacists.
Do you think?
Yeah, the niggas are taking his music, man.
Huh?
Look at the chairs, man. Look at them chairs, empty.
I don't know all this like who's who and what's what, but whatever format this is, I like it better because like it's like they got more time to ask some questions.
Well, shit.
Because nobody there, it don't matter. Huh?
There, huh?
Yeah.
Superior than another race on the planet Earth?
Senator, absolutely not.
You don't. So
you on mute, Jesse.
Have opportunities to get things going. But I'm a people person. I was an auctioneer, real estate broker, salesman, and I enjoy people. I just do. And I if you go over the House and check through the Democrats that are still there, that was there when I was there, I had as many friends on the Democrat side of the aisle as I did.
I'm over time, but I'm just really glad to hear that you've not been given any, warning or instruction or expression of concern from the administration that Iceland is a problem, because I think they're an ally. Thanks, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, big ally. Thank you.
Senator Booker.
Mr. Carl, I never thought I would have somebody that made a lot of the statements that you've made before the United States Senate, and I would love to discuss some of your comments. You're going to be working with international organizations. Do you think one race is superior than another race on the planet Earth?
Senator, absolutely not.
You don't. So do you think that America would be weaker if it was, say, 40% Jewish?
Senator, absolutely not in and of itself. I think the problem...
Well, why did you qualify that?
No.
He couldn't let that one go.
Well, Senator, if you let me finish...
They really hate the fucking Jews, huh? It's crazy.
Finish.
The other white people.
I do not. I believe that unity...
Man, blacks are not a threat to them, man. See, black people, man, believe themselves that they're a threat to every other society. Man, it's kind of like, man, you got three people on the fucking playground, right? You got a white guy, you got a white man, and you got a white woman. Man, and somebody got to be in charge, right? Those two white guys, man, don't consider that white woman as even a opponent. It's only them two. So, man, the black people are the white woman. The Jews are their other nemesis. So they can like say, man, that's our only opponent is Jews, not black people, man. Black people like, man, they're not gonna put y'all in charge. No, hell, no way. The Jews are our issue.
As President Trump has said, rather than diversity, is a greater strength.
But why not simply say it doesn't matter what percentage of our population is Jewish?
Senator, it certainly doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Senator, if I could finish, as somebody of Jewish origin myself.
He's been so polite the whole time. When he talking to Corey, he's like, "Shall I finish?" Okay. His whole demeanor to change.
Look at his face.
Yeah.
And I do want to take this moment to say, because there have been some comments made, one of my weaknesses, and we've discussed some that you may think in general are weaknesses, is sometimes I take an idea too far. And I made some comments in interviews about minimizing the effect of the Holocaust that were absolutely wrong. And I'm not going to sit here and defend them here. I just want to be very, very clear on that point. Again, had I been in Germany in that time, even though I'm a sixth-generation American, but had I not, I would have been killed just like anybody else.
I've heard you say that you regret some of your comments about Jews.
Absolutely.
Do you regret any other comments about any other races?
Senator, you would have to reference a certain comment, but I'm certainly.
Senator, I said so much fucking racist shit. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. Motherfucker, which one?
Not a perfect person, and I'm sure that I've made.
Do you regret any of your comments about Latino Americans?
Senator, I'm sure that if you read me every single comment I'd made about a group, there would be some that, upon consideration.
So you stipulate for this body that you have in your past made comments about Jews and Latinos and perhaps blacks that you perhaps regret.
Senator, thank you for the question. As a Calvinist who believes that we're all infinitely sinful and only redeemed through grace.
See, sir, we're sending you into a very diverse world.
Yeah.
And you can't say unequivocally that America, it doesn't matter what our racial makeup is. You believe it matters what the racial makeup of America is.
Senator.
Do you believe it matters, yes or no, what the racial makeup of America is?
Senator, to echo President Trump, I believe
I don't want
unity
you to
rather
echo
than diversity.
President Trump. I want you to answer my question, yes or no. Does it matter what the racial makeup of America is?
Senator, I'll stand on my comment. Thank you.
What's your comment? Answer the question, yes or no.
Echoing President Trump, I believe unity rather than diversity is a strength.
So you have a problem if America grew to be more Latinos than white people?
Senator, the individual group is not important. This is a cross-societal.
What do you mean when you say that you believe in the Great Replacement theory?
Senator, thank you for that question. This refers to the intentional demographic replacement of Europeans in Europe. It was invented by Renaud Camus, who was a French scholar.
This bitch. That is not what he's talking about.
You think there's an active effort to, quote unquote, replace Americans right now?
Senator, I think the Democratic Party, through its immigration policies, has certainly shown signs of that.
And I don't understand that. So you are saying that if more Americans are black or Latino Americans, that somehow weakens America because it puts whites in a minority.
Senator, I never said anything like that, nor do I actually believe that. I want to be very clear that regardless of country, if people generally share more in common, that's a strength.
Can I read you what you've said? Because it sounds like this. You said the Great Replacement is real, and they are going to try to make you pay for it. Who is they?
Senator, thank you for that question. I simply don't know from you reading that one isolated comment.
So this is the problem. You make the most incendiary comments that you admit that you regret about Jews, about Latinos, about blacks. and you sit here and say that you do not have a worldview, that somehow our country is weakened based upon the populations
you know
of each. In fact, you say in your writings that it is a threat.
The crazy thing, man, you know he was a Jewish guy at first?
Huh?
Yeah. He's Jewish.
Who?
That guy Carl, what the fuck his name is?
Where's it at?
His family was Jewish.
Where's it at?
What do you mean why I say that?
Why do you say his family was Jewish?
Because the nigga, he was Jewish at first. He converted to Christianity. You know, like you was a Christian at first and then became an atheist?
Well, atheist default, that's another conversation. How you figure that? What you look him up or something?
Yeah.
Hmm.
The nigga from Missouri.
To the United States of America and create an us versus them. And the only interpretation I can have of us versus them is it's white people against others, which sounds deeply racist to me. That somehow you think our country's greatness depends upon its ethnic diversity as long as white people have more numbers than others. That does not sound like a nation that was founded with the belief that all people are created equal and equal before the eyes of God. It sounds like you have a racial hierarchy. There's no way for me to read this in any other way.
Senator,
because you have said our country, based upon religious diversity, based upon ethnic diversity, based upon racial diversity, you have indicated that somehow those make America weaker or stronger. That God forbid our nation grows in population, that then you suddenly say, I'm aggrieved, and they are trying to replace us. This is the United States of America. We are one nation under God, but you cut us up and divide us along racial lines.
Senator, respectfully, I do not think that they do.
You cannot use the word respectfully, because you do not respect me.
Oh,
you
no,
look
actually,
upon
I do.
me as my color of my skin. You say holidays like Juneteenth are racial hustles. Don't come here and hustle me.
Senator,
you have said statements that other nations are going to look upon you and read plainly. When you go to a country of a different religion or ethnicity, you have discriminated against Jews in your writing, you have discriminated against others, and then you claim yourself as a victim. Mr. Chairman, I've never seen such a blatantly racist individual who doesn't even deny that he's made these statements, but wants to tell us that he regrets them, and yet still believes that this body, who is committed to principles of equality, who is committed to ideals of our founders, that you're not in direct violation to the ideals and values and principles. And the last thing I want to say, I watched people beat others when they attacked the Capitol, viciously attack police officers. Brian Sicknick, a New Jersey resident, was beaten near death and would die days later. And you say those violent felons, you literally have said that they were treated worse than people during Jim Crow. When thousands of Americans were lynched, murdered, beaten, and killed, you equate Capitol Hill rioters with receiving worse treatment than Americans during Jim Crow, which even some of the worst people who participated in that violence and beatings have come forward decades later and said, I was wrong. It is shameful that when this body ran for its life, when they had gallows for the vice president put outside, when they tried to stop the peaceful transfer of power, that you would equate those people to the folks that were victimized and terrorized by white nationalist organizations like the KKK. Sir, you have no decency. You have no honor. You say inflammatory things because it thinks it will ingratiate you to those who are paying your salary. And you sit here before me and try to wrap yourself in the American flag? Well, I believe in this nation. I believe in the principles. I believe in those who fought and died for our country. You disgrace that legacy and the ideals that we all swear an oath to uphold, that does not believe in one nation for one people and another people. Dear God, I pray for us if we let somebody like you represent us to the diverse nations of the world as representing the values of our country.
Senator,
Mr.
I
Chairman,
absolutely
yield.
deplore Jim Crow, but I do not agree with the characterization that you have done of my views.
The record will remain open until close of business tomorrow. If there's any questions that are put into the record, I'd appreciate it if you would respond to the record or respond to the questions as quickly as you can. I want to thank all of you and all of the families who are here today for submitting yourself for a potential nomination by the president. And I will include in the record all letters of support and other matters we received regarding any of the nominees. And again, thanks from the community. It's adjourned.
Thank you. You hear me? Damn it. The broadcast has concluded.
Oh, this one with the Great Glen Cross, man.
You said what?
I said, I close that out with the Great Glen Cross.
You said something about Blade Cross.
Glenn.
Did Kirsten Dunst give permission? Streets much these days, but don't think for a minute there aren't people who would like to see that, and people who would like to see every Jewish person, black person, and other minority disappear from their view and from what they perceive as their white country. They are out there, and they are close to you, as close as your computer, and maybe in your driveway. On the southwestern Missouri prairie, in a modest home, a man is enjoying his retirement.
Well, I'm 65 years old. I have 5 children. I spent 20 years in the United States Army. I retired as a master sergeant. 2 tours in Vietnam, 13 years in the Green Beret paratroopers. I'm a patriotic white man.
Glenn Miller is also a racist.
The only thing I ain't figured out is whether to hate all you Jews or just the Zionists. That's the only thing I ain't fully figured out yet.
Miller is a well-known figure in the world of white supremacy. In the 80s, he led the White Patriots Party in North Carolina. At one point, 5,000 marched in lockstep under him. But that was a long time ago. We approached Miller now because of this. A newspaper called The Aryan Alternative. Headquartered in Missouri, Miller is the distribution manager. He led us into his home for an interview and held a sign for an extremist website up against his chest, daring us to show it.
Rather not have it for the whole thing, because it might look a little silly. But I don't mind looking silly.
You'll see the website a little
Missouri,
later. But first, more of what Miller believes.
White people are people that look white and fight white. Otherwise, they're not white. White people are dying out. Genocide is being committed against us. I admire blacks in that they are very racist. They stick together, don't they? And I hate you. You're a Jew, and I hate you.
Do you advocate violence against Jews?
Advocate? What's your definition of advocate?
Tell people
I don't lose any sleep by suicide bombers in Tel Aviv, I'll tell you that much.
Those beliefs are reflected in the newspaper The Aryan Alternative.
We provide commentary, analysis of what's going on in the world, and we present a worldview from a white people's perspective.
Some of what's inside edition 3, articles on black-on-white crime, Mexicans and health, homeschooling for whites, and trying to compare a Jewish person to a rat. Throughout, it's tinged with bigotry and racial slurs, also movie reviews and artwork, usually stereotypical cartoons and possibly copyright-infringed photos.
We started 14 months ago with 10,000 copies original edition, and we're up to 70,000.
The goal? 250,000 copies, distributed by a network of volunteers who buy them.
I think they're going to appreciate Vanguard News Network message.
And toss them into driveways nationwide.
Here we are, Anti-Defamation.
Karen Oresti is with the Anti-Defamation League.
We have a twofold mission: to stop the defamation of the Jewish people and to secure just and equal treatment to all citizens alike.
The ADL is a leading resource on hate groups, white nationalists, and other extremists in the country.
They're on the fringe, they're in the minority, and we need to keep them there.
They do that by watching and educating.
Hate undermines communities. Hate undermines democracy. And so we look at it in a different way because its impact is that much more broad. I mean, hate kills people. I think the
Hey man, you know, black people are the hot stove
now is the internet.
Specifically, this website, the Vanguard News Network. Here, all types of discussions carry on, from the latest news to how to mate. The main theme running throughout, pro-white nationalism. And it comes at the expense of others: blacks, Hispanics, immigrants, the media, politicians, etc. The slogan, no Jews, just right.
We're getting more and more people to log on and to learn our viewpoints. We've also got a radio network, 24/7.
Thanks for tuning in, and either via podcast or on our live feed.
The internet has transformed the so-called white movement in this country, allowing people to remain anonymous on this site and others, to write what they wish without having to actually show themselves.
We can speak our honest minds without compromise, without censorship, and to each other and to our people. We can take our message directly to our people.
It helps get the word out about the newspaper with the goal to unite and to organize.
We're going to take back our country by whatever means necessary.
You shine the light and you let them come out in their own words, and they'll be exposed for what they really are, which is ridiculous.
You hear me?
We're going to change it. The white people are going to wake up. We're going to run people for office. I'm running for Congress, and I want to see 50 million white men out of work. Then Whitey will fight. He won't fight until then.
Now, much of what is on the website and in the newspaper falls under the umbrella of the First Amendment. But one image may get them in hot water. That's Hollywood actress Kirsten Dunst in a modeling photo she posed for several years back. But it's been embellished with a white supremacist message and used as artwork in the paper. Did Kirsten Dunst give permission for its use? Her agent told 9 News, never. And they are now considering whether to pursue legal action. long time ago. We approached Miller now because of this, a newspaper called The Aryan Alternative. Headquartered in Missouri, Miller is the distribution manager. He led us into his home for an interview and held a sign for an extremist website up against his chest, daring us to show it.
Rather not have it for the whole thing, because it might look a little silly.
But I don't mind looking silly.
You'll see the website a little later. But first, more of what Miller believes.
White people are people that look white and fight white. Otherwise, they're not white. White people are dying out. Genocide is being committed against us. I admire blacks in that they are very racist. They stick together, don't they? And I hate you. You're a Jew and I hate you.
Do you advocate violence against Jews?
Advocate? What's your definition of advocate?
Tell people that
I don't lose any sleep by suicide bombers in Tel Aviv, I'll tell you that much.
Those beliefs are reflected in the newspaper The Aryan Alternative.
We provide commentary, analysis of what's going on in the world, and we present a worldview from a white people's perspective.
Some of what's inside edition 3, articles on black-on-white crime, Mexicans and health, homeschooling for whites, and trying to compare a Jewish person to a rat. Throughout, it's tinged with bigotry and racial slurs, also movie reviews and artwork, usually stereotypical cartoons and possibly copyright-infringed photos.
We started 14 months ago with 10,000 copies original edition, and we're up to 70,000.
The goal, 250,000 copies, distributed by a network of volunteers who buy them.
I think they're going to appreciate Vanguard News Network message.
And toss them into driveways nationwide.
Here we are, Anti-Defamation.
Karen Oresti is with the Anti-Defamation League.
We have a twofold mission: to stop the defamation of the Jewish people and to secure just and equal treatment to all citizens alike.
The ADL is a leading resource on hate groups, white nationalists, and other extremists in the country.
They're on the fringe, they're in the minority, and we need to keep them there.
They do that by watching and educating.
Hate undermines communities. Hate undermines democracy. And so we look at it in a different way because its impact is that much more broad. I mean, hate kills people. I think the biggest thing that has helped them do what they are doing now is the internet.
Specifically, this website, the Vanguard News Network. Here, all types of discussions carry on, from the latest news to how to mate. The main theme running throughout, pro-white nationalism. And it comes at the expense of others, blacks, Hispanics, immigrants, the media, politicians, etc. The slogan, no Jews, just right.
We're getting more and more people to log on and to learn our viewpoints. We've also got a radio network, 24/7.
Thanks for tuning in, and either via podcast or on our live feed.
The internet has transformed the so-called white movement in this country, allowing people to remain anonymous on this site and others to write what they wish without having to actually show themselves.
We can speak our honest minds without compromise, without censorship, and to each other and to our people. We can take our message directly to our people.
It helps get the word out about the newspaper with the goal to unite and to organize.
We're going to take back our country by whatever means necessary.
You shine the light and you let them come out in their own words, and they'll be exposed for what they really are, which is ridiculous.
We're going to change it. The white people are going to wake up. We're going to run people for office. I'm running for Congress, and I want to see 50 million white men out of work. Then Whitey will fight. He won't fight until then.
Now, much of what is on the website and in the newspaper falls under the umbrella of the First Amendment. But one image may get them in hot water. That's Hollywood actress Kirsten Dunst in a modeling photo she posed for several years back. But it's been embellished with a white supremacist message and used as artwork in the paper. Did Kirsten Dunst give permission for its use? Her agent told 9 News, never. And they are now considering whether to pursue legal action.
line, which the two.
Here's the top stories for February 4th.
Mr. Carl, I never thought I would have somebody that made a lot of the statements that you've made before the United States Senate, and I would love to.
Organizations. Do you think one race is superior than another race on the planet? Senator, absolutely not. You don't. So do you think that America would be weaker if it was, say,